Hello. Perhaps we'll meet some of your brothers in a minute and we might shoot them in the face with a big old laser. We might do that. Right then. Indeed, which I think is the last original level from Baz, because I believe I miscounted last time whilst reviewing it in editing, so I think this is indeed the last, and by that I mean the 8th original level, which means we will be left with the more standard levels to do. So today we will do a bit of... And goodness knows it is cold in here, it's absolutely freezing. And... which presumably will be much more toasty, which will be a lovely change of pace. So let me stop yammering on, and we'll get the hell on with it, shall we? Hello, after your past achievements, this mission should be a breeze. Make that a cold one. Teleport down your Rock Raider team and collect 60 energy crystals. But beware, scanners detect that there may be more of those fearsome ice monsters roaming around. Goodness! That sounds sort of spooky. Oh my goodness, it's all bumpety. Yes, there's a bump here, and there's a big bump over here as well. Goodness. Some sort of little bridge over a river, perhaps. Right then, enough dalliances with ridiculousness. How about we get the hell on with that? How about I also turn the sound back on, which is something left over from a thing I was doing before, so I apologise for that. Have some music. Some spooky music, some spooky music indeed. Alright then, so there's not a lot to see at the moment. We're in this lovely little, oh my goodness. We're in this lovely little rectangular world of ours, where Jet has already managed to receive a concussion despite the fact she's the only one wearing a crash helmet. Right, I get the distinct impression it might be wise to reinforce everything between here and Aberystwyth, so you'll forgive me if I get on with doing that. We do have limited air as well, I spy. So let me clear a little bit of rubble over here and we'll start building up ourselves a wee bit of a base. So what can we see on the map? Not a great deal, so we can work in this direction or we can work in that direction, potentially, depending on what this square is, but not a heckin' load else. But hopefully we'll find a few crystals scattered hither and thither. Okay, there we are. That's the majority of the world all reinforced, so we don't have to worry about that quite so much. Apart from that big old bit over there that I completely forgot and didn't look at because I'm ever so slightly completely stupid. Other than that very minor detail, everything's going swimmingly. Okay, one is better than none, but it's still basically the same as none. Okay, never mind none of that rubbish for a wee moment. Let me see. I always forget which way round the power station goes. Its bucket would be there if I were to build it there. It's going to be a little bit of a pickle. I want a little bit more space to work with. I might build it right around the back here, actually. That might work a little bit better. So let me pop that there. And then I'll forget to upgrade this. Yes, I will. I'll do that thing, because that's what a clever person who's been playing this game for many years would do. Just as soon as somebody clears this, that is. Thank you, Jet. Lifesaver that you always are. I was absolutely terrified you were going for that piece in the back there for a minute, and I was going to look like even more of an idiot than I would do. So, thank you for saving my bacon. I'll put that there. Thank you very much. Right, we could upgrade this as well to start using dynamite, which I think would be wise given the amount of hard rock that I can see with my Jeepers Creepers. So this isn't going to take us anywhere, but I hope that my dedication to destruction will be rewarded with little green blobs. No little green blobs have been found thus far. Oh well, never mind. At least if we clear these out, that means we won't have to wait until we get a drilling machine in order to clear them out, in fear of damaging the buildings by using the dynamite. Hooray, we found one! My tenacity has been rewarded, and of this I am grateful, probably because the game was so bored of listening to me yammer on about the same thing, it thought, you know what, we'll just completely countermand the programming and give him one for the sake of getting him to shut up. But sadly, that's never going to happen. Right, let's watch Sparks do something very self-destructive. See, if you put it there, that wouldn't have happened. But never mind. Alright, I spy up here. There is an undiscovered cavern. Indeed, going in this direction, which seems to also involve a little bit of a decline in the old elevation. So, okay, good, that's been built, so let's stop faffing around with that and decide where we're going to plonk this. I have decided to plonk it here because I'm a plonker. Right then! Let's see, is there anything on this side? Potentially, but it's difficult to see. Let me mark out a few more bits for drilling. And we'll see if we can get a little bit deeper here, because I feel like this probably is going to take us somewhere, because it has the same decline that this has. Although, saying that, so does this side, and you can't go that way, so, you know. Perhaps I'm talking bollocks! Wouldn't be the first time. But, indeed, there is an undiscovered cavern in that direction, so isn't that lovely? Right, it would be lovelier still if I could actually remember to put the put my planning applications in, so that we can actually get on with building these things. Maybe I should bring down a couple more people. In fact, I think I will, because we're so close to having this constructed and having plenty of oxygen sorted out. It won't matter that the air will go down quickly, but I'm just concerned that these 5 will be moving quite slowly because, of course, they are sandwich depleted. Oh, yeah, we still got 7 minutes even with 10 people, so... We're not in any sort of hurry, he says, suddenly questioning whether he actually has enough crystals for this little shindig, but I think we do. What a small miracle. I do, however, have to turn that off, otherwise this isn't going to have any electricity. Right, there we are. That's better. Oh, goodness, we can't go this way! And don't I feel like a dunce? The answer to that question is yes, perpetually. But, oh, goodness, you know what I should do, actually? Before we start roaming around, I should probably give them guns. There may be a bunch of ice monsters roaming around. Goodness knows you won't be prepared for them. We've got this muppet in charge of your mission. My giddy aunt. Sorry. Sounds like a piece by Spandrel Ballet or whatever another song they were called. Oh goodness, 2 of the little beasts! And by little, I mean quite large. Oh my word, they've started in the same place. I do like the little spikes they've got on their back. It reminds me a bit of a dinosaur. They're so little and cute. Yeah, I feel like I've commented on the similarity of that piece of music before, and I apologise for boring you. But never mind. Right, let me put that back down there for a second. Let me also put in a plan for... Yes, a super teleport pad. For, while this map is not the girthiest that I've ever seen, I imagine this is going to take us a little bit of a while to start making our way through. So I'm going to put a bit of dynamite here. Not because I really think that's going to lead us anywhere, because of course there's solid rock on the other side of it, but it might contain a crystal or 2. You know, I really can't get over how these things look just like Maltesers, and I look at this ground and it's littered with little Maltesers, and I feel hungry, and then I realise that I'm not looking at Maltesers, I'm just looking at pixels on a screen, and suddenly I feel sad about life. Oh, I actually thought they put both pieces of dynamite down at the same time. They hadn't, they just dropped it. Excellent. Ah, yes, because that single foot of difference made all of the explosives suddenly functioning. Okay, so we didn't get any sort of rewards from that. So that was a heckin' waste of time, wasn't it? Alright, let's bust our way through here. I'm wondering whether... I'm trying to decide... Oh, giddy aunt, I'm trying to get to the end of a sentence without being interrupted by some beasts. You know, this is one thing I'm not a massive fan of, is how monsters, at least quite often in my experience, seem to spawn in the same places. Multiple monsters spawning in the same place at the same time. Which, oh goodness, we'd better reinforce this stuff so no beasts come and steal these. My giddy aunt. Is it just me, or does the neon yellow and the neon green here look extremely similar? Hang on a second. As proven by the fact that I thought that was another recharge sim. I thought it was another one of these. See there, that is the same colour as the power path. Giddy, are there really that few shades of colour in the world that we can't have contrasting colours for recharge and energy crystals? I don't know. I mean, I get that that's green in the first place, so you couldn't make them both green, but still. But still, you know, I'm old and my mind is decrepit, so, forgive me for being a moron or something, I don't know. Don't really know why that'd be an excuse, but, you know. I'll chuck out a lot of different ones, and then you can pick whichever one you think is the most believable one. Right, no, never mind, rubbish. Yeah, no, I was wondering about the geological centre, and then I got interrupted because of the monsters. So I'll finish my first tangent, and then I'll go back to my original tangent. So my first tangent was about 2 monsters spawning at the same place at the same time, which I don't really think is probably intentional. I feel like they're probably programmed to spawn based on some parameters, like being close to where the rock raiders currently are, to prevent like a monster that's a million miles away spawning and then not really doing anything. Like if one spawned at, say, air raiders, for example. If you had, if you were playing that and there were monsters spawning out of the walls, then you wouldn't want them to spawn like right on the far side of the map on the other side of the lake. You'd want them to spawn a bit closer to home, so they're a bit more of a threat. So I imagine they're based on some form of parameters like that, and yeah. So when you've got a load of rock raiders in the same place, and it wants to spawn some monsters, and it wants to spawn more than one monster at a time, it decides to spawn them both in the same place, which I don't really like. Almost be good if it had a kind of cooldown on it, in that it could select this wall for a monster spawn, and then another monster would spawn out of that wall for like 5 seconds, which would give perhaps the programming an opportunity to then pick a different wall to do that. Oh goodness, there's a river! A river to nowhere. Excellent. My goodness. Right, never mind. Never mind. It's a cool piece of music, I rather like it. We've a few crystals. Perhaps I should get some form of device for doing things. Like a this. Yes. Why can't I have any of these circles? Oh, because this building doesn't have any power, because I've been a derp. Well, that shouldn't surprise anybody. Let's have you, because I feel like you slightly generic types get a bit of a, get a bit forgotten and left behind. But no, yeah, just something, obviously, you know, I haven't got the faintest idea how to program anything, so do not take my suggestions as advice. But, yeah, just something in order to stop the monster spawning out of the same piece of rock would be nice, so they could just spawn in 2 different places at the same time. I feel like that would work a bit better. So we might be able to sort of work our way around the back here, or we might have to head down in this direction and then push through here, and then perhaps come round the back and the end over here. I don't know, but I am going to set a bit more of this stuff to get blown out, because I want to access the energy crystal seam, which is an energy crystal seam and is not a and it is not a recharge seam as I originally thought, because I'm a doofus. Yeah, that would be quite a useful thing to get access to. I am, however, very conscious of the fact that this thing can't defend itself. Which means wandering around and mining in a dangerous cavern full of monsters is not a bully idea. Any monsters? Not yet, no. Right, you can drill that out. In the meantime, you people can clear this. How many? Well, that would give us another 4, and that would be a 5th one. So we could beam this up and get like a chrome crusher or a mobile laser cutter. Maybe that would be a better idea for the sake of being well defended. My goodness, this is a mess of a base, isn't it? Because it completely spoils efficiency and wastes a load of time, but looks slightly better from a visual perspective, I am going to plonk this here, if you don't mind. So that is if the Brickster ever gets off his butt and does a bit of the community service that he's been told to do. Right, if you would stop jittering for 5 seconds, that would be lovely. Oh, of course, because some bloke who's picked up a piece of ore 15 miles away has been tasked with building that rather rather than doing it immediately, but never mind. Set that to be drilled, and we'll get rid of this so that I can stop being paranoid that somebody has managed to mysteriously die without me noticing. Speaking of noticing things, how's the frame rate? It seems alright today, which I must say is a small miracle. On the one hand, I want to send somebody off in like a tunnel scout to mine through here and have a look and see what we can find, but then on the other hand, I don't want to expose anything. I don't want to expose any crystals that I'm then not going to be able to defend and are going to get digested by some sort of demon. So, I'm a little bit of a pickle, although saying that, I reckon if we busted through here, we'd get access to that somehow. That's my theory. Alright, let me get a this, given that this is the only thing that'll do the job. And let me put you in it, because I trust you about as far as I was going to say about as far as I can throw you, but I imagine you could throw a Lego minifigure quite far if you put your mind to it, or your arm, more specifically. So, I don't really know why I'm bothering to put a drill on you, because I'm not planning on drilling anything against the sea, but never mind. And by against the sea, I mean adjacent to the sea. But let me set that to get blown up, and then in the meantime we'll set all of this to get mined out, so they're not just standing out doing anything. So, let's see how much of a mess this gets me into. As of yet, not a mess at all. But the night is young, and the ice is ready to teach me a lesson for my pure impudence. My Gideon, why do we need so many frickin' spiders in this world? The answer to that is we don't, because we can drive over them and squish them in order to make spider soup, and then that makes our lives significantly better. The more and more of these videos I do, the more and more I realise that I am approaching a point in my life where I am simply running out of things to say, which is a bit of a darn shame. Actually, there is one thing I can say, a little bit of a misspeakage of mine from last month. I said that you couldn't use 2 mining lasers at the same time in order to defend your base and make yourself a bit stronger. Apparently, you can, according to a nice comment that somebody left explaining things. The main thing they explain is that I'm a muppet, but that isn't the point. No, the main thing that they explain is the fact that we need another crystal before I can actually bring down a decent vehicle. No, because I need 8 and not 6, but never mind. Yeah, apparently if you sort of select multiples with a box and then press X or something, I think it was, I can't remember the exact details, but apparently you can select multiple mining lasers at the same time in order to... oh no, perhaps it was you use the box in order to select them both, and then by pressing X you activate the lasers on both, because of course you double click on a building or a vehicle in order to activate its laser. So if you had 2 selected and you just clicked on the one, then presumably you'd click away from the one that you hadn't clicked on. So I think we should get a couple of trucks. Actually, I feel like that would be a lot more efficient than faffing around with all of this heavy machinery. He says, going onto the wrong menu screen because he's a muppet. Let's put you in for the sake of hearing you complain about things. Can't even hear you, my friend. You're speaking too quietly. You've got a very small voice. Right, let's completely move beyond that horrific pun and get ourselves another vehicle. Put you in it because you won't complain about it. Or more specifically, or will be the majority of your day-to-day work. Again, it's probably stupid to drill through here, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let me send a couple of people to drill through that. Okay, so there is something in this direction. In fact, let me get you tracked. Is that working? Yes, there we are. Good. We hit him with a tracker dart, and now we can follow his whereabouts. Okay, so we're almost at the edge of the map. So this won't. Aha! Ooh, goodness! This is really dangerous now that I think about it. I've also realised it's a dead end. Which is nice, because it means no more monsters, but it's also not nice, because it means that we need to press the wrong button. As per usual. No, it means we need to go in a different direction. And perpetually wonder why this thing has a seat in it if it's automated. But never mind. That's not the point. Alright, we've got some more crystals now. I could turn that off. That would give us 7, and this one will be number 8, so then we can get ourselves a Chrome Crusher. Why not? And I'll put myself in it because, you know, I built this thing in the sense that I told somebody else to get the stuff for it, and then I just teleported it down. So, I suppose it's only fair that I should get the right to command this thing. If you'd stay still long enough for me to get a half-decent thumbnail out of this. There we are, that's better. Right. Yeah, because I can still use the drill for drilling through things, rather than always being dependent on the laser, but I can still use the laser for defending myself, and the radar will come in handy for seeing a bit further, because I reckon the radar on this thing has got to be stronger than the individual peeps. Yes, possibly. Radius increase of a bit. Don't know how much, but a bit. Alright, is that everything over here drilled out? I reckon it is, yeah. I'm going to bring you home and get you out of that. I'll keep it just in case we need it for something else later, but for the time being, I think it can just sit there and the Brickster can have something else to do with his day, like eating a sandwich. I wonder what sort of sandwich the Brickster would have if he could pick any sandwich. Trying to remember what the pizzas in Lego Island had on them. I think they had Gideons. I'll shoot you in the face, mate. Oh, this only does 15. Ah. Oh goodness, he's getting a boulder. He's going to bash me with it. It strikes me. Kitty, the bloody rock is going to strike me in the face in a minute if I'm not going. Would you shoot him in the arse? I said, would you shoot him in the arse? Oh, for crying out loud. I give up with you people. Alive. But thank you for crying out loud. Bit of a delay on the old brain there. There we are. That's better. Much, much better. There we are. Lots of death. That's what I like to say. Alright, let me pop a piece of fence here, here, and here. That way it'll just give us a little bit more defense if a monster gets a bit too close for comfort. Tell you a nice feature that could be could add a little bit of sort of strategy and tactics to this would be if, say, you were using the mining laser. Let's pretend this is a mining laser, and there was a monster walking towards your base, and you knew there was nobody around in order to shoot him and kill him. So you could shoot him with the laser and do him damage, or you could shoot the boulder that he's carrying in order to destroy it, right? Because it's a mining laser, it's designed to break apart rock, so it would make sense that you'd be able to destroy those. So, yeah, perhaps if you could destroy the boulders, then it wouldn't do any damage to the monster, so you'd be, that would be kind of like a cost of the strategy in order to try and balance it. But on the other hand, they'd be weakened but by not having this boulder, so they wouldn't then be able to throw it at your base. So then they'd either have to walk into your fence or just smash stuff instead of using the boulders, which I presume do more damage without knowing the statistics to hand. This will give us a nice shortcut as well, and mean that I need to erect more fence. Oh, good. Goodness sake. Hey, look, I said the word erect and I managed to avoid making a filthy joke about it. I'm growing up, or some sort of rubbish, I don't know. Probably not. Let me drill this out so I can figure out where I should put my, Thank you. My giddy aunt. This isn't an online game. You can't blame it on the lag. It's got slow brains, it would seem. Let me put a piece there and piece there, I reckon. Should probably put it a bit further out for the sake of them not throwing boulders in, but I'm not overly worried at the moment. I do kind of like that the base is on a bit of an elevation. It's like the castle atop the hill. I rather like that as an idea and as an aesthetic. Right, I'm a bit concerned that time is going by, and yeah, you know what? I should just drill that out. Why not? Be interesting to see what happens. The answer to that is they'll get out of it too quickly. Alright, Let's do a bit of shoot. Yes, smash that instead of eating the crystal, you muppet. Yeah, see, look, if I could sort of shoot the builder somehow in order to disarm him, I think that might be a nice little strategy to work with. That could be sort of interesting and fun. All right, let me forget how long those take to drill out. Thank you very much. Let me have a look at this next bit of map. I have a funny feeling we're going to see another. Yes, we are going to see another river. Goodness, this is quite beautiful actually in its own bizarre way. I don't know how under the sun we're actually going to get there. With difficulty is the answer to that question. If I bust through here, will I make another shortcut? Yes, I reckon I will, at least eventually. Okay, so we need to get ourselves equipped with a few more trucks. My only concern with more trucks is, the more trucks, the less people with guns hanging around. So I might need to put up a mining laser back home in order to try and keep our base safe. So what I'm going to do is send that off to do a wee bit of drilling. And then I reckon I'm going to put a mining laser about there. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness, where? There. You shoot him. Get out. You know, perhaps instead of lasers, we should just... Oh, goodness. Perhaps instead of lasers, we should just have like an oven on the front of this. And just chase him with that and use that to melt his patoot. Right, alright, they'll deal with the remainder of the problem. Okay, let me put this here, yeah, because I reckon they're either going to approach from this angle or they're going to approach from this one, but I doubt they're going to go all the way back around here, so I feel it is wise to plonk it here, and then we can also put the piece of fence there as an extra layer of defense. So let me... Oh good, lava, my favourite thing in the whole... No, don't follow the rubble. I don't give a bloody rat's ass where the rubble goes, apart from away. I love lava. Lava's my favourite thing. I don't think we've seen any eroding lava in Baz yet, and I'm really not looking forward to the day that we do. Mainly because the way that I used to get through lava levels was just to rush through them before the lava had much of an opportunity to eat your base. Perhaps with the possible exception of Awesome. But this is just a heap and load of hard rock, isn't it? That's going to be really entertaining to drive through. Oh goodness, hang on a minute. Goodness, I see the light! Oh, so if you tell it to drill something it can't reach, it will shoot it. That's really nice. Does that mean you can automate drilling with the use of the large mobile laser cutter? I feel like we had this debate an episode or two ago, when I remembered or rediscovered or whatever it is that I'm going to say about it, that the large mobile laser cutter in Baz Mod can drive over lava, which as of yet has not become a key characteristic in the sense of being necessary for passing a level, but I imagine it will come into place sometime later. Yes, I remember, because we had I think it was either a chrome crusher or a granite grinder working at the same time as a large mobile laser cutter, so the large mobile laser cutter was there for defense probably, and I was thinking about how to automate it in order to use it as a drilling machine. So perhaps it is just a case of tasking them with a wall, and then they'll use whatever tools they have, drill or laser, in order to destroy them. Be kind of cool if the Chrome Crusher, given that it's unique in having both a drill and a laser, could somehow drill things and also shoot them at the same time. But actually shooting things is perhaps slightly more efficient. Also, is it my imagination? Is the range on this shorter than usual? I mean, look at that. That's only like 4 squares away, and it's already taking a crystal. That's a little bit crazy. Ah, okay, so there's... yes, indeed. You keep revealing the cavern before I have the opportunity to say it, which means it makes me look like a muppet. Yeah, there's this little pathway that snakes around here, which will lead us over here, which might have something of interest in here. Either that or a great big letdown, one or the other. What was I talking about? What was I talking about before I reached my 17th tangent of the day? Maybe I was talking about the lava levels and passing them in Baz. Yes, obviously the Baz levels are much longer and more in-depth in the sense that you have to spend a bit longer on them. So I am not looking forward to levels like Lake of Fire and what's the other one called? What's the other one called? The one where you start with a little base and then you have to kind of circle around to then reach up to like the elevated area on the top of the little hill and get the crystals there. I have no idea whatsoever. I will look it up and put it on the bottom of the screen for you. There we are. That's the name of the level. I'm sure I'd kick myself as soon as I remembered how simple that was to think about. Alright, let's have a look over here and see what we find. Yes, it's not that I imagine the Lava Willy Road faster or further per se. It's more a case of I am concerned of having to stay in the level longer, which means I have to manage the lava for longer. That's the thing that I'm more fussed about, because that's going to give the lava all the more opportunity to be a massive burning pain in my bottom. So we'll leave these crystals for the little trucks to do. Speaking of little trucks, speaking of little trucks, how about we get ourselves a little truck depot that we can actually bring the trucks down if you could ever click on the right thing, Phil. Blithering idiot. Blithering nitwit. Right, where's the next truck driver? Let me upgrade you as well, please. We'd be so kind as to put that down. I've got a new career for you in haulage. Right. Let's set you to drill a few more bits and pieces. There we go. Kind of queue up a few to be done. And let's put Axel in one of these as well. I'm sure he'll complain about the horsepower. There we are. Well, I'll put a better engine in it. There we are. Give you a sort of, I don't know, gas-guzzling V8 thing. I'm sure that will be absolutely excellent for you. Unlike the frame rate, which frankly is not great even for me, which is not a glowing endorsement of my graphics card, but never mind. Alright, how many vehicles have we currently got? We've currently got 7, which implies we've got 3 people wandering around, I think. So of course it's counting the this, which isn't doing anybody a lot of good right now. Yep, we've got 3 people. We've got 4 people wandering around, which is possibly what I said before, possibly not. Oh dear, oh dear. Yes, I do have a truck. Right. Let me watch this man eat a sandwich, because that isn't in the slightest bit weird. A sandwich almost the size of his own torso, which is absolutely ridiculous. My giddy aunt. It's like one of those television programs where the people eat lots of food in very quick succession, which I'm sure is not good for their digestive system. Right, there we are. At least now we can race in, grab lots of crystals and get out again. What I might also do is bring down a tunnel transport. 2 reasons, well, 3 reasons really. 1, I'd like Jet to have a decent vehicle, because I feel like she's always sticking her neck out for everyone else. 2, I would like us to be able to pick up stuff that falls into water, or is on the far side of water, and I'd also like to be able to carry the Chrome Crusher to the other side of a river, if we end up in such a pickle as that. Also, what is this here? I don't know, but it's sort of interesting. Don't really know why the Chrome Crusher is trembling in anticipation. Maybe because, oh goodness, there's a bit of a lava waterfall. Where the hell am I going from here? The answer to that is on the way over there. Well, thus far it's staying where it is, which is nice. I'm also wondering why there haven't been any monsters in ages. But never mind, let's zoom out a bit so we can see what we're doing a bit better. Alright, so yeah, there's this little strip running along the back here, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of little surprise waiting for us over here. That seems to be how Baz likes to do his levels. So, let's drill our way through here. In fact, let's drill in first person, because the first person mode in the vehicles that have these sort of cages is completely useless because you can't see anything. Giddy, it's like being trapped inside a chocolate spider web. What sort of muppet designed this thing? I mean, I understand, right, if this was like an actual drilling machine for like digging a tunnel or something, I could understand why visibility out the front wouldn't be massively useful, because all you'd be seeing would just be rock, right? Like the kind of drilling machine they used to like do the channel tunnel or something. I don't really imagine that had a big window at the front, except maybe so that you could make sure that you drive into the tunnel correctly. But yeah, I really do think that the visibility coming out the front of here is absolutely appalling. But we will pretend like that isn't anything to worry about. So let's do some third-personing instead. Can I not drive into the lava? Can I oh goodness, this is a nice third-person view. I don't think this has been the case before. I like this. Let's do a bit of shooting. Oh, and I can still drive like this as well. My goodness. This makes me feel powerful. Right. Goodness, a lot of technology and a lot of lasers backing me up here. I do like that I can't just directly drive into, oh hooray, crystals everywhere! I can't just directly drive into the lava like I can when I'm playing the PlayStation version of this game. So, hooray! There's lots of crystals around. I can't really see any of them because there's just dust and dirt everywhere. I'll just shoot my laser in random directions and hope that I don't kill anyone with it. And if I do kill anybody, that they're just a monster. Right. Jobs are... oh, hang on. Jobs are good. That's cool. I really like that. Oh, so you can press right mouse button in order to sort of toggle from like a fixed camera angle to a more action-packed one. I like this. I like this a lot. This is cool. Right then, I reckon that is about that. Which is not doing appallingly for time like we usually do. Yes, there's a few left over here that need to get caught up. And I imagine it's going to be one crystal per truck, isn't it? Because you're just going to try and irritate me in that manner. No, you went through. Oh yes, the criteria. I'd completely forgotten. And you are actually going to pick up more than one. That's more than I expected. Yeah, which is why Jet's got herself a little confused. Oh yeah, and there's no one clearing any rubble. Never. Oh no, there's two dudes clearing rubble. Oh, and I never put my fence up. Oh, aren't I stupid? Never mind. That was a nice little level. I like that. I like this little waterfall over here. Well, lava fall over here. Or lava trickle, I suppose. Hang on a minute. Oh, look, there's like almost like a little gaseous cloud and like little sparks coming out of it. That's nice attention to detail. I've never seen that before. How close to the lava can you get? Quite close is the answer to that. My giddy aunt, closer than anyone in their right mind ever needs to. I like this texture. It reminds me of burned flesh, which is quite a horrific thing to say, but you know, it's apt for lava. Right then, I'll shut up before I say anything else that paints me like a serial killer, and we'll get on with ourselves, shall we? I must say, only having... oh no, I was going to say there's only 66 crystals. No, of course there weren't, because there were loads of vehicles and stuff. Otherwise, that would be a very limited number. You know, if you only had 6 spare crystals in a level with monsters in it, that would not leave you a lot of room for bollocking up, and goodness knows I do that a lot. So, yes. Right then, never mind any of that rubbish. We will have my usual little break to rest my hoarse voice, and then we will do ourselves a bit of... yeah, that's the thing I'm bloody worried about.
Okay, operator, are you ready for the next mission? The geological scanners have located a cavern system that has an abundance of energy crystals under it. Your mission is simple. Drill the Rock Raider HQ and collect 30 energy crystals. The mission may sound like an easy task for somebody of your capability. However, the scanners have been playing up a game and I don't want you to take any chances. Good luck, Rock Raider.
Indeed. Also, is it my imagination, or did these used to say minor, as if they were trying to circumvent copyright? But never mind. No, I got thrown off when they said 30. Of course they mean 70 these days. Rot. Let's get the hell on with it, shall we? So, is the map the same size? It would seem to be, yes, and it has a big dip in it, just like we expected. So the map is, you know, the thing about Lava Laughter is it used up the vast majority of its map anyway, so there wasn't really a lot of room for expansion. You know, you couldn't really knock through and put a bloody conservatory in it. But that wasn't there before. I'm curious to see if Baz will maintain the symmetry of this level. For this level, I think if it was famous for anything, it was famous for its symmetry. One side of it being a perfect mirror image of the other. Let me see, let me clear some of this stuff and put a thing there as well. So far, it looks like the symmetry is being maintained, but there's definitely something around the back here that wasn't previously here. Almost swear that it's been a while since I've done this particular level, but I am pretty certain that there wasn't anything behind here back in the olden times of classic original basic game. Speaking of classic original basic game, and also once more speaking of me being a moron, because I might possibly be about to reveal the fact that I know next to nothing about a game that I profess to know a lot about, but I was listening to some discussion of the game, of Manic Miners that is, within its Discord server, and some folks were talking about re-implementing the sort of level results screen. So you get a results screen here, and it says you get like a sort of an exit briefing and a tallying up of how many crystals and ore that you found. But of course, in the original game, you had the little picture where it would show various different scores, percentages in various different metrics, which were always a bit balked and upside down and back to front, and frankly it never really made any sense to me as a child, and I was not good at mathematics at the time, and goodness knows I haven't got any better at it since. But yeah, there was some discussion about whether that was ever going to come back, and generally the consensus seemed to be that no, it wouldn't be, because it was a bit balked. But within the discussion, I heard somebody say something. Now, I've got no evidence to back up what they say, so they might not have been telling the truth, or I might be a complete moron. I'll tell you which one I'm going to put my money on, and it's the fact that I'm a muppet. But essentially, what they said was it was balked in that there were one or two levels where it was almost impossible to actually get the 100% score. Now, the reason that mattered is because they said if you got a 100% score, you got the good ending. And that really pricked my ears up, because I had no idea that this game had multiple endings. I mean, I can understand why I wouldn't know that, because if you have to get 100% on every level, then it's not impossible to get 100% on every level. And of course, there's no record of what you got, I don't think. Or were there? No, if you hovered over the level, maybe you could see the percentage. I generally can't remember. Goodness, it's been so long since I actually played the original base game. But yes, yeah. Were there different endings? Because if so, I don't understand how the normal ending that you get isn't the good ending, given that they get home. You know, it plays the cutscene of them getting home and being happy. So, seemingly everything's fine. But perhaps there's more to this than I ever realised. Did this get damaged? No, it didn't. It just wobbled. Alright, fair enough. Let me see. Ah, this is interesting. Look, there's solid rock here, which means we can't punch straight through here in order to access all of this. All of the lava and the laughing. I don't really know who was supposed to be laughing. I imagine in the early stages the monsters, because people would punch through here and then get creamed by the monsters, and then later it would be the people playing the game when they realise how to defeat them, and then they get to do a bit of monster creaming themselves. So isn't that creamy and delicious? Uh-oh. Can't upgrade this because they're missing a piece of ore and nobody's carrying one, because people are prioritising crystals, because of course they are. Yeah, everything looks fine. So yeah, we're probably going to have to punch our way through here and then come at it from the side in order to in order to find that, or find our way through, rather, is what I'm trying to say. So let me get them started on building a support station. But yeah, I have no idea if this game has multiple endings or not. Well, when I say this game, I mean the original game. It might do or it might not do. I cannot tell you, unfortunately. But if it does have multiple endings, even if they are only vaguely different in terms of, like, you know, playing different cutscenes or whatever, then that really does emphasise just how much I've lied, essentially, during this series. There wasn't really any need for the music to cut out at that moment, because you sort of drew attention to the fact that I wasn't saying anything and we were having an awkward silence for a second while I attempted to rehydrate myself. Yeah, because if there's one thing I've done in this series, it's yammer on and on and on and on about how much I know about this game and how supposedly good I am at it, despite the fact that I'm constantly mucking things up royally. So, yeah, if it turns out that this game actually has, by this game, I mean the original game, if it turns out that the original Rot Raiders actually had multiple endings, then that is going to make me look like an absolute moron. So, I'm kind of torn between the devil and the deep blue sea here, because on the one hand I really wanted to have different endings, because that would be really cool, and on the other side of the old coin, I don't want it to have multiple endings because it's going to make me look like a muppet in front of everybody. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. I'm trying to decide if it's worth putting up not power path, I mean electric fence. I don't think that it is, because I don't think monsters can spawn in this level. I think the only monsters you have to deal with are the previously existing ones, so perhaps we don't need to worry about that. We do need to worry about getting some more peeps down, because we've plenty of oxygen now, so we should make good and proper and thorough use of them. So let me see what we've got here. So this is going to break through into this back cavern here. You see, it's a level like this that really does make me think that maybe the Baz Mod levels, as in the original mod on the original game, rather than the Baz Mod levels within this maybe makes me think that they weren't able to change the base size of a level, because otherwise I feel like they would have changed the size of this level in order to give them a bit more room to work in the back. Otherwise, you just end up with this funny strip around the back, which I feel like is just going to look like a... Well, it's just going to look like a boulevard, and it's going to look a bit artificial, perhaps. Not that this cavern being perfectly symmetrical doesn't seem bizarrely artificial. But we'll leave that little geological debate for another day, and instead we'll work our way through here. Yes, indeed. Well, there's much stuff. There's much stuff and many things. Here we are, we've connected it all up together, and at least there's no beasts. So that makes me cheery. And actually, you running all the way along here for no good reason is actually going to serve a fantastic purpose. That's a recharge seam, isn't it? It's too yellow. It's nothing, apparently. It doesn't even exist. It's just the void of mystery. I'm convinced that the chief did have a line saying recharge seam, so I'm not entirely sure what's up with that. Thank you for proving my point. So, yeah, that at least gives us our recharge seam to deal with, if indeed we come in handy for that. Because there was another comment, actually, another comment about the lasers, helping to clarify a little bit of information, a few questions that I had posed, about what under the sun happened over there for a moment. This weird flash of yellow out of the corner of my eye. Never mind, maybe it was some sort of very rapid duck that would just flew by my eyesight. Probably not. Yeah, it's like... Sorry, I'm playing a stupid game with myself. Sorry. This blob of orange that keeps appearing here for like 2 frames. Yeah, I think what it is... Hey, look, playing all these video games taught me something. They are educational. So, I have learned from people that there's some sort of method used by games, whereby things that you're not looking at, so let's say this texture here, when you're not looking at them, when it knows the camera can't detect them, it can sort of despawn them in the sense of removing them so it doesn't have to use up processing power to do stuff with them, presumably. Goodness only knows what computers do with their things. I genuinely have no idea. I do feel very vulnerable leaving the base looking like this, but I don't actually think it's dangerous. It's just psychosomatic, I assure you. Yeah, so what I think is happening is the game is despawning tiles and textures and things that are outside of view, and then I'm sort of revealing the world again slightly too fast, and it's not having time to adjust to that fact. So I think that's the only thing that's I think that's the only thing that's happening. I think that is used by computers for the sake of reducing the demands on the processing power, either just generally to make them less intensive, or for the sake of allowing them to run on weaker systems. So I think that's the point of all that, but never mind. I'll go back to the comment that I was talking about ages ago before my 57th tangent of the day. So yes, nice person wrote a nice comment explaining a little bit about how the lasers worked in the original game, due to the fact that I've forgotten most of it. So they said that the lasers didn't spend your crystals, they did in fact drain your crystals and replace them with drained crystals in the same way that a slug can drain your crystals. But the difference was, of course, that not every level has a recharge seam. So if you've got a recharge seam, then you can drain crystals, and it doesn't really matter because you can get them back just by recharging them. But my giddy aunt, right, there we are, thank you. You could have told me earlier that this wasn't going to work. You could have just told me instead of all of this faff, but never mind. I want to kind of get us really prepared for the final push when we make it, because it's going to leave us in a bit of a pickle. I don't think I can put anything here. My giddy aunt. Never mind, we'll put something there and there instead. Yeah, so lasers would just drain your crystals, but seemingly the range on them was severely lower than what it is in Manic Miners. I love how everyone's got a piece of ore, but nobody's got the right piece. Thank you, dogs, you lifesaver. You didn't see me do that. You didn't see me be a complete doofus. Somehow, at the end of every video, I think, well, look on the bright side, there's no way I can ever be stupider than I've just been. And then, every time I manage to plumb to new depths, my giddy aunt does this trench no end. Never mind. Let's put this here into blazes with the fact that it's all higgledy-piggledy and a mess. Put some fence up. We're going to need it. We're going to need it. Let's drill all this stuff out as well. Why do I get the funny feeling there's going to be solid rock behind here? Yes, so while the lasers would only drain your crystals if you didn't have a recharge seam, as many of the levels did not, then you were effectively spending the crystals because there was no way to get them back. So that combined with low range meant they weren't very feasible, which is why I think every level in Manic Miners has a recharge seam, and why their range is also greatly improved for the sake of not having to worry about losing out on stuff like that. So isn't that nice? Nice to know that I'm not going completely mad, even if I did have things halfway wrong, because I was under the impression that they just spent the crystals, rather than not that. Thank you. A bit late, but never mind. Yeah, I was under the impression that the crystals were just spent, so nice to know that the original game wasn't quite that silly in the way that it was programmed, so I'm grateful for that. My giddy aunt. If you didn't know what was right behind this wall, you'd think I was a complete moron for putting those there and putting none here. But you wouldn't be wrong in thinking that I'm a moron. You'd just be wrong in the particulars as to why I'm a moron. Frame rate seems alright as well, which is suspicious. Never mind. Yeah, let's see what's on the other side of here. Solid rock, just like I anticipated. Oh, whoop-de-doodle. Never mind. Trot along, my my small friend. Also, I can't remember if I've mentioned this before. Somebody else, much longer ago, wrote a comment likening the granite grinder to that big drill from Thunderbirds, which I thought was A, very apt, and B, a nice local reference. So I appreciate and approve. Let me do a bit of tracking. There we are. Yeah, I do feel like the vast majority of this level is... Yeah, it's pretty standard. It's pretty much the same as what we had in the regular... Hello! Hello! Fancy meeting you here! Yeah, it's pretty much the same as what we had in the standard level. Obviously there's a bit of expansion here and there, but not too much for the most part. So, yeah, that really does make me think that Baz couldn't have increased the level size. Oh, the bloody hell! Oh, bloody hell! Oh, bollocks! I mean, just damn everything! Oh god! Oh, all those bloody crystals! How the hell am I gonna live my life knowing I've mucked up this badly? The answer to that is with difficulty. Let's just give everyone a gun and pretend like I'm not a moron. Because I am a moron, but you know. Let's pretend they were definitely killed and didn't run away with all the crystals in their belly. Let's pretend that. I'm good at this game, I know what I'm doing, the monsters won't spawn. Nah, they won't spawn. They'll just be over there having themselves a nice little sleep. Frickin' Muppet. You're a fricking Muppet, Philip. You're an absolute moron. Should be ashamed of it. I am a frickin' ashamed of myself. My giddy aunt, you better bloody watch that. Lava monsters are so strong as well, for crying out loud. They're so big and beefy, it's not fair. Crying out loud. Sorry, I'm just grumpy, alright? I'm grumpy, that happened. There was me slagging off Baz, saying, you can't increase the size of the level, which means we're limited on what you can do in this level. So they're like, oh, alright then, you wanna diss the creator of this level? Right. So the lava monsters roll up their sleeves and prepare to bash their way through the rock face. Oh well. I was about to open my big flapping pie hole and say that, gee, this level's gonna seem kinda boring if we don't have anything new or unusual to look at in this level, and everything is just quite standard. So at least something interesting happened, but I didn't let you watch it because I didn't want to be shown up for the complete muppet that I am. But never mind. Should we try this again and see if it goes wrong again? Because I mean, how could this go wrong? Let's turn the light on as well, because that'll definitely stop a lava monster. Right. Let's do this again and see what happens. Nothing. Good. They learned their lesson. Good. Hopefully their lava monster mother sent them to bed with no supper. Not that it would really matter, because they've just had a massive supper of about 6 crystals. So, you know, that punishment wouldn't really work, Mrs. Lava Monster. But never mind. We're not here to talk about the disciplinary tendencies of these silly little demons that we have to deal with. Right. We should have more crystals than we do, but we don't, for reasons that I will not hark upon. And by hark upon, I think I mean harp on, but never mind. What to do is get a load of trucks, and then probably replace my granite grinder with something a little bit more violent. So yeah, I'm going to upgrade a bunch of trucks, I think. Yeah, this is going to go quite badly because we're not going to have nearly enough crystals to do this, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so obviously the tactic that you want to use in this level, at least to the best of my opinion, is to get a load of fully upgraded trucks for when you bust through into here. Because of course we're going to reveal a little lake of lava here with various monsters dotted around the outside and then a little bundle of crystals over the back. So I suppose the two tactics you could utilise would be to walk along the edge of the lava lake quite slowly, trying to pick off the monsters one by one, killing them before they have the opportunity to A, wake up any of their friends, or B, eat any of the crystals. And then just sort of work your way along nice and slowly, or the alternative is to do what I tend to do, which is a bit of a smash and grab procedure, whereby you knock down the wall and then you send a load of upgraded trucks in order to steal all of the crystals post haste, and get them back home before things go tits up. But my concern is that Baz won't have left this as it was originally, so I do fear that we are going to end up in a little bit of a pickle. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hope that I can build a laser here, otherwise I'm not going to have symmetry, and that's going to fiddlesticks. I'll put it there instead. Fine. I guess I could put it there, could I? No, of course not. Yeah, because A, this will give us the opportunity to waste a load more ore, which means I won't have enough to actually upgrade everything. Never mind. Yeah, this will give me the opportunity to test out using two lasers at once, and then if they do walk in this direction, I can like shoot their faces off as they use the long and the short. So I can make their long noses very short by doing a bit of lasering at them. Although, to be honest with you, if I'm going to shoot them in the face with a laser, all I'm probably going to do is mend their eyesight. But we'll pretend like that definitely isn't the circumstance that we're in, and that I'm not going to bollock this up again. At least no more monsters are spawning, so that's nice. Alright, looks like we'll have enough crystals for the trucks, so let's see, how many people have we got that aren't in trucks? We've got 6 vehicles and 10 people at the moment. So yeah, let me put a couple of these peeps into trucks and we will see if we can... But I don't know anybody. Any old anybody will do as far as I'm concerned. Let's just get some more folks into vehicles as quick as we can. There we are. Have Jet in there as well. Yes, because I don't have a ton of transport because I can't really afford to spend 10 crystals on something which is quite slow at the moment, so... Yes, I know you're not a mailman service, that's why you don't have a bullet in your prefrontal cortex and you aren't sitting in a shallow grave in Vegas, but that isn't the point. The point, my friend, is that needs must, so get your bum in the seat and stop complaining for 5 minutes. Ahem. Alright, there's one more person that we haven't put in a truck yet. There's 2 more people we haven't put in a truck yet because we need to save one of them for a vehicle, which we now can't bloody afford. Because I'm a moron. Oh no, we might be alright actually. I think I'll go for a large mobile laser cutter. For no other reason than it should have a bigger laser. So who have we got? Let's have Axel, yes.
Bigger lasers!
Yes! Big lasers! They're very big, aren't they? They're very big, and they're very girthy, and they're going to shoot some things in the face in a minute, because it's going to be needed for turret defense. In fact, I'm kind of curious whether I could activate, both of the mining lasers and the large mobile laser cutter at the same time, and have a whole heckin' load of lasers. That'd be kinda cool. Let me see what I can do. Well, that didn't work. That didn't work either. Neither did that. This isn't working. Okay, so if I press X, yeah, that just takes me into laser mode. So if I take you out, can I select the two buildings at the same time? Is it because there's a vehicle that's sort of prioritising the vehicle? Yes, it is. There we go. We can do a bit of double shooting. Excellent. A bit of a kimbo. Right. Oh gosh. Oh, there's one more person. I haven't put you in a truck. I can't afford a truck. Never mind. I'm poor, so shush. What am I going to do actually? Because you are going to be a massive pain in my bottom. Because all the trucks are going to get destroyed by the ore. I am going to have to ever so slightly get across at you. Is there any vehicle I can put you in that will just keep you quiet for 5 minutes? Yes, here we are. Come over here and play with your hover scout. And in the meantime, I will send this off in order to prepare for battle. Yeah, I really don't want these trucks getting distracted. I want them to have one thing on their mind, and that is precisely how much I'm going to screw this up, because there's no way under the sun. Baz hasn't modified what's in here. So let me find out what's in here so that we can find out precisely how stupid I've been. Okay, Chris was fine, not overly fast. Not overly fast. Let me also not just click randomly like a muppet at... I see, Baz. I see. You just want to tease me a little bit. Alright. Fine. No, I can dig it. That's not a pun. I mean, it is. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. These marvellous magma monsters. My giddy aunt. Oh dear. Okay. Right, shall I see if I can shoot a monster in the arse and see what happens? This is going to go really badly because it's really freaking strong. Okay, 30 damage is not actually as bad as I thought it would be. My giddy aunt, they're scary looking beasts, aren't they? We kill you for the sake of revenge. Ha ha ha! Death to you! And life to your descendants, bizarrely, which is a bit weird, but never mind. I didn't really mean to come here and assist these creatures in procreating, but that's not the point. Let me shoot him in his back pecs. Idiot. Seriously, it's a bit weird. I don't think you're supposed to have muscles that big in that place. Also, there's a weird undiscovered cavern strip here, which is a bit weird. Alright, enough of that silly billiness. Let me see how much more it can squeeze. Okay, they are all asleep, which is lovely, but they're all also... Oh gosh, oh goodness. Oh goodness, golly gosh! Let's see if they can get the crystals and get the hell out without dying. Yes, they can. Good. Now we're going to have to defend ourselves, which is going to go frightfully badly. No, not that. I did not anticipate this as a situation, and now I'm in an absolute mess. Okay. Think, Philip. Use your brain for 2 seconds. Get everybody out of the trucks. Yes. Oh goodness, they've walked around. This is. They've all gone for frickin' sandwiches. Okay, right. Just breathe and shut up, Philip. All right, because at the moment you're in a massive pickle and you don't know what you're doing. So just shut up, sit still, and just let the audience admire how much of a moron you are. Oh, bloody hell. Yes, thank you, Chief. I bloody noticed. Note to self, if you erect fence in one very specific place because you're going to bust one very specific canyon into one very specific area full of monsters, and this is just a thought, Phil, it might be wise if it turns out you can't break into that cavern and you go a different way, that you erect a fence that way as well, otherwise they're just going to circumvent your brilliant defences. Oh my Gideon. I'm not frightfully good at this. Oh bollocks, there's more of them! No! Go away! You beasts! Be gone, you vile creatures! Leave me alone! There we are, that's better. Alright, everything's fine, apart from everything. No, no, not more, leave me alone! Okay. Let me just chuck fence every freaking which way. Because right now we bloody need it. How am I this freaking stupid? My giddy aunt. Okay, let me somehow shoot over this rock face, which seems a small miracle. Okay, that really isn't going to work. Never mind. Let me just shoot him when he pokes his head around the corner. Don't really know where he's going, but never mind. Doesn't matter. He's died. He's dead now, so it doesn't really matter where he's going. Okay, good. Fence situation has been sorted out. Now the dog won't be getting out of the garden or some sort of bollocks. Right, should we put some people back in trucks? Because that seems vaguely sensible, doesn't it? My goodness. Right, well, there was me thinking this level was going to be dull. How about you get out of that vehicle and do something more productive with your day? Dear. I am deeply sorry that you have been cursed to stumble upon a corner of the internet that is inhabited by a moron. Right, let me get some folks back in trucks. Please don't actually fly off into the sky with that thing. That's the last. I know it's got jet engines on the side, and I know you're called Jet, but if you could not do that for 5 minutes, Jet, because at this point I've got enough going on in the world, and my blood pressure is high enough as it is, without you making it any worse. So, I will thank you to keep yourself on the ground for 5 minutes. Right, let's get rid of this because, frankly, it's embarrassing me. And he can just stay all the way over there and deal with it. Oh, crying. Just, how are there frickin' 3 of them? Where's the third one, for goodness sake? Who's all the way over there? Why are you all the way over there? Why are you all the way over there being a doofus? It's very irritating. I don't even know where I've invented this word from, but seemingly I found it somewhere in my brain. Okay, let me just kill you. There we are. And then, you'll probably get killed by the fence. I'm not convinced, because obviously lava monsters are a lot stronger, so, my goodness. You should have gone to the doctors and you should have got those braces. Did you learn nothing from looking at me? Where are you going? There's nowhere that you can get through my fence, mate, unless you can get through there. No, surely not. That wouldn't make any sense at all. Just walk into the fence and die. Would you stop being quite so healthy and making so many Where is he going? For good, is he going to attack this? That seems plausible. Yes, isn't he? I'm going to let him try because I'm just curious at this point. I will shoot him once or twice for the sake of getting his health down a bit. Yes, he's going for the vehicle, isn't he? I see. Interesting. So if they know they can't get to the base, they might prioritize other things. Interesting. Very, very bloody annoying. My word. If this is what happens in Lava Laughter, a level that is not by any means difficult, then what the hell are we going? I didn't even mean to shoot his ass. That was a mistake, I assure you. A happy accident, but an accident nonetheless. Oh, bollocks. More monsters! Good. And then yet more. Oh, goodness. At least this one somehow didn't manage to wake anybody up, which is small. And somehow I didn't manage to wake anybody. Oh, gosh, it started all over again! No. Okay. This is going to go fine. Yes, definitely. The problem is that one of them is going to get killed, and then the other one's going to just be able to saunter through. There we are, that sorted that problem out. Please tell me that the fence has regenerated itself. Yes, it has, which means I should have been shooting the other one, but never mind. Stop spanking my large mobile laser cutter, you beast! You know, I was real hopeful that when these two sleeping monsters appeared, that the level would sort of, would you stop clambering up the walls? I know you're being driven up the wall by how stupid I am, but if you just pretend like you're not being that for 5 minutes, I'd be grateful. Yeah, I was really hoping that these two monsters being asleep here would kind of increase the number of spawned monsters to the extent that it would not bring any more out for at least a minute. You'd be like, oh hey, we shouldn't spawn any more monsters because there's already 2 in the map. But no. No, of course not. So, oh Margie Dion. Oh Margie Dion! She's getting a bit silly now, isn't it? I do like the fact that they can walk across the lava because that's sort of cool, but at the same time it's a massive pain in my bum. And I apologise that I didn't get the opportunity to show you the lasers akimbo, but it seems like if you're hovering over, actually I might as well leave him for the fence to deal with. Otherwise I'm just going to watch the fence kill him because I'm that much of a sadist. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, you're after the crystals, aren't you? I guess the advantage of having those little trucks here is I can drain as many crystals as I want. Doesn't really matter because they can go and recharge them nice and quickly. So we just kill you. There we are. It's much better. Just slightly better about myself now. Yeah, let me come over here and try and drill out some of these pieces so that they spawn a bit less frequently. Oh, I forgot about you. I do sincerely apologise. Let me observe your death to make you feel better. That's better. His face fell off. What more do you want from life than your face falling off? Well, the answer to that is a lot, because that sounds quite horrific. Oh, let's just enjoy 2 seconds of peace and quiet, because goodness knows 2 seconds is all we're going to bloody get. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. I've really got to stop underestimating Baz. You know what else I should probably do? I should go into the settings and tell mods spawning down from 150% to 100%, because it were kind of funny at first, right, when we were just dealing with little levels where we just had a couple of monsters hither and thither. It was slightly entertaining. So, oh, I'm good at this game, so I'll do it with more monsters than usual. And then and now it's not really quite so funny anymore. I mean, maybe it is for you, and if it is, then I'm very pleased about that. But goodness knows, I'm not chortling. Okay, right. So there's nothing behind this wall. And there's nothing left in this cup. Which means I have no excuse but to get the hell on with it. So what I'm gonna do is regret the fact there's no way for me to turn this into a corner piece to prevent any more monsters coming out of it, but we'll pretend like that definitely isn't going to balls up everything in a minute. It's not horrifically dreadful. Out of interest, does this have the same? Yes, it does sort of. Yeah, I might have seen this before. I might have seen this point of view before, but I definitely haven't seen the one on the Chrome Crusher before. So it's quite cool. I quite like this. Let me my giddy on. Crash into something again. Blame it on Axel. It's all Axel's fault. Oh dear. Let me move the radar along as well, if I could ever figure out how the bloody hell I do this. That one, please. Thank you. There we go. Right. Let me get myself all sorted out here. Ready for a bit more murdering. Oh, some water. Some water! Funny knobbly bobbly water that doesn't really look like water that they have in the lava levels for reasons I don't understand. But hey ho, I don't mind too much. Let me drill some of the way through here for the. I don't know why I'm not drilling the corner pieces out, which would be much more efficient. Yeah, let me drill out a little bit here and there to try and give access for my peeps to come over here and collect all the stuff. There we are! I've made access for my peeps! Excellent. And now I'm gonna have to sort of drive this thing backwards, which does kind of look cool with these little 6 red carrots that I seem to stuck on my arse. But yes, I am actually driving this thing backwards at the moment because it's so wide I actually can't turn out. Never mind, I'm being stupid. It's a bit of a shame you can't see the cost of the shot when you're in first person or second person directly controlling a vehicle. You can't actually see the little meter showing how many crystals it costs you to make a shot. So that's a little bit of a shame, but never mind. Right. Okay, so they have made a bit more use of the available real estate, but obviously they were relatively limited. I must say I was expecting there to be more. Like, I was expecting there to be, like, blockages of hard rock along here, for example, that might mean that you can't just drive your trucks immediately through here, which, I don't really know exactly how much of a pain in the bum that would have been, because, of course, if you couldn't drive there, then you couldn't have woken the monsters that were on the far side, but, I wouldn't put it past Baz just to program in a couple of monsters just to spawn right next to the crystals immediately in order to eat them while you sit on the other side of the lava in your little battalion of trucks and cry for a few hours. So, yeah. It's weird. It didn't... No. It went worse than I thought it would go, but for completely different reasons than the reasons that I thought it was going to go badly, you say. I thought it was going to go badly. I just didn't expect to encounter a completely freaking flat wall. A flat wall, also known as a floor to those of us who are human beings with brains instead of stupid people like me. Yeah, I was expecting complications. I just wasn't expecting like 50 million monsters to appear all at the same time. Oh good, we do actually have enough crystals to win. I was a bit worried we wouldn't then after all the ones that got eaten. Dear oh dear. And Bandit is the only one clearing rubble. So he'll be glad that he's not in a vehicle that he doesn't like, but I doubt that he's very pleased about him to walk around quite so much. Never mind. My word, that was an absolute unmitigated disaster. A categoric cock-up. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got some sort of perverse sick schadenfreude out of seeing me bollock that up completely. I've also realised this is actually slightly asymmetric, because look, here there's a flat wall, but there isn't here. And then here there's a flat wall, but here there is. I wonder what that's all about. I wonder whether that might just be a little tiny nod to the fact that otherwise this level is completely symmetric. And they just wanted to put in one little thing that's not symmetric. It probably isn't that, and I'm probably reading far too much into it, but never mind. Let me finish the mission there, because if the mission is over, then it is impossible for me to embarrass myself any more through my own actions. I can still embarrass myself through my own speakage and failures therein.
All 30 energy crystals were collected. Mission complete.
I wouldn't call that good at work, mate. I'd call that an absolute muck-up. But never mind. What other levels have we got?
Waterworks.
Genuinely struggling to remember which one that is. I think that's the one where you start on the island with the bit of dirt behind you that you drill out, and then you have to travel off to a number of different little islands in a big lake.
Split down the middle.
Now that's going to be an interesting one for two reasons. One, because it was main objective was much more about just finding the base rather than collecting any crystals. Although you didn't collect some, obviously, which meant you didn't really get much of an opportunity to see the rest of the map. So I'm going to be interested to see what Baz does with that one. And this one, on the other hand, I'm also interested to see what Baz does, but for a different reason. Because again, I'm pretty sure that one used the vast majority of its map, and it was quite an open level, so there's not going to be room for Baz to put in extra caverns and things. So that will be interesting to see what Baz does with these. So, yes, we will continue with those next time, and then we'll do, well, assuming that we can get two done in the same video, because these videos were only supposed to be an hour long, but they keep creeping up to an hour and a half, because all the individual levels are taking me 45 minutes, because look, 40 minutes, 36 minutes, 43 minutes, etc., 50 minutes, etc. So yeah, this would take us another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 months, which is frankly terrifying. Crying out. It's kind of crazy to think that you could almost make an entire human being in that amount of time that it's going to take me to get to the end of this. But never mind any of that rubbish. Yeah, I like these levels. I wish I didn't suck at them, but I like them. Yeah. Sorry I didn't show you using both the lasers at the same time. It seems like if you're making a box to multi-select things and there's a vehicle in there, it's going to prioritise the vehicle over anything else, which is a bit of a shame. I understand why, because in the heat of the moment you probably want vehicles rather than buildings, but in that heat of the moment I wanted the lasers, so one of the lasers was a bit of cannon fodder there rather than being a cannon. But never mind, I did my best, and my best wasn't good enough, so that's just the story of my life. So thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I apologise for being a complete ignoramus, so thank you very much for putting up with me this evening. Look after each other, and good night.